Hello, everyone. Professor McCoy, good evening. Welcome back, Dragon Age Inquisition. Now, we're basically done with the actual game, and we are on to the final story DLC, which is Trespasser, where we learn a little bit more about that very little bit just at the end last time. If you recall, there was that last little, the equivalent of an after credit scene where Flemeth, who we now know as Mythal, meets up with Solus, who we now know as Sketchy, and they seem to be old friends, and they seemed to, or he seemed to take some sort of power from her. Perhaps Mythal, perhaps perhaps the spirit of the old god that she took from Kieran. I'm not sure. I'm not actually sure what that was meant to indicate. We'll find out a little bit more about it.
Here is the request Sir Morris made. Of course.
Okay. We'll find out a little bit more about that as we do the Trespasser DLC, which we're really about to go and start. But unfortunately, a lot of that is still going to be left until the next game, until Dragon Age Dreadwolf. There is this DLC is really the one, I think, that that more than anything else leads us into the next game and really drops a lot of story points that are going to lead us into the next game, which is eventually going to come out. Rumors have been saying within the next couple of years. I don't know. We finally got a title for it, but who knows? Who knows when it'll be here? When it does, though, this will certainly be a major part. This will lead into a major part of its overall story. So, the Exalted Council.
Is it me, or is Cassandra more solemn than usual?
Lady Pentagast only contemplates what awaits the next divine.
I bet that's gonna be her.
Hates being called Lady Pentagast. I look forward to seeing Divine Victoria's reaction to the ceremony around her inauguration.
Oh, it is gonna be her. Okay, that's confirmed then. Good. So, the Exalted Council. This includes, I think, a 1-year time skip, or something like that. It locks off all other areas and plots. Jump to 944 Dragon. Oh, 2 years. I could have just read it. Well, never mind. 2 years after the death of Corypheus. There is no going back from this point. It is a really point of no return, beyond point of no return. It's a separate story DLC that is really its own storyline. Its own, almost like a micro sequel. Very, very similar to Awakening, Dragon Age Origins. With Corypheus dead and the threat of the Fade Rifts and demons waiting.
Lake Calenhad is shaped like a bunny.
What?
Perhaps we should take a... Oh, I think I see it.
Yeah. Can confirm. This. Just squint, and there's its eye. Yeah, Yep, definitely does. Thanks, Colin. Oh, gosh. Alright, so starting over. With Corypheus dead and the threat of the Fade Rifts and demons waiting, both Orlais and Ferelden have begun to raise questions about the future of the Inquisition. Divine Victoria has promised to shield the Inquisition from political matters for as long as possible. Eventually, she plans to call the Exalted Council, a chance to determine the role and possibly the fate of the Inquisition. Recommended levels 20 or higher. What level am I? Let me actually look. I'm curious. See if I need to power level some more. Doubt it. Pretty sure I'm over level 20. Does it tell me? 27. I think I'll be fine. Yeah, I think I'll be fine. Oh my god. Alright, yeah, I'll be fine. Oh, good lord. Alright, yeah, I'll be fine. Actually, you know what? No, I won't be, because I will be right back. I'm actually going to grab a couple of character points from that mod, just so I can unlock both of these. Just gonna go grab 2 of those things from down in the underground, and I'll be right back. And then we'll actually start the DLC that I have advertised that we're starting tonight, and we will actually, I promise, we'll actually get there. Don't worry, it's like a simulation of class this morning, wherein I was 10 minutes late for otherwise good reasons. Funny thing about that. So today was today at St. Leo. We celebrated the Mass of the Holy Spirit. It's in addition to being part of the liturgical calendar, it is also a sort of a school tradition. Where we basically start every school year off with the Mass of the Holy Spirit. It's something of a convocation. And so part of what this means is that the ordinary school schedule is moved around just a little bit to make room for an 11 a.m. Mass. So what that means is this morning, rather than my class starting at 9:30, which is already creeping earlier this semester, usually it starts at 9:40, but they moved the schedule a little bit by default. But this morning it started at 9 a.m., meaning I had to wake up an extra half an hour early, had to leave the house an extra half an hour early, and had to drive down there an extra half an hour early. What I didn't account for is that it would take more than my usual time to get there, because for some reason, the traffic at 9 a.m., or just before 9 a.m., is way, way worse than the traffic just before 9:30. I guess I should say just after 9 a.m. In fact, it was nightmarish. So I was almost 10 minutes late.
Ages now, Leliana. Why don't we do something new with it? I'm used to the way it is. What about our commander? He does something with his hair already. Oh, it does look very nice today.
I don't...
What?
You mean it just gets that way on its own?
Not entirely.
Was that a joke about him, like, styling his hair? Or was that a sex joke? I'm not quite sure. Anyway. Divine Victoria will not call the Exalted Council until you are ready, Inquisitor. Let's do it. Let's go. Onward. New save, though. Just in case. Attend the Exalted Council. The Exalted Council will be held at the Winter Palace outside Halam Sharal. Thanks to Divine Victoria's negotiation with the ambassadors, we are ready to depart at your convenience. Let's go. Gather the party and venture forth. June, God of the Craft. Oh god, Plants vs. Corpses. By the way, at some point fairly recently, Saoirse, my oldest, she's 4, discovered Plants vs. Zombies on the tablet that she plays with Grandma and Grandpa hold on to. It's just not allowed one at home for the most part. But she discovered Plants vs. Zombies and was having a good time with it. She was getting frustrated though because she still can't read, which made it much more difficult. Ooh. Fancy. That seems a little excessive. Kind of dig it though. It fits in well in Orlais.
Another parade, another bloody negotiation.
Smiles, everyone. We must be careful how we present ourselves.
Why did Divine Victoria call the Exalted Council? She's kept Orlais from bothering us for the last 2 years.
At increasing political cost, yes. She has done all she can, but the Exalted Council has become necessary. Orlais would control us, And based on their many marriage proposals, they have specific plans for you.
Oh. He looks so
Our
mad
real
about
concern
everything.
is Ferelden. They would see us disbanded entirely.
We are kind of on their soil. Hmm. So liminal, being here with no one there.
Inquisitor, it has been too long. I hope the years have been kind to you.
Have you been, Mother Giselle?
I spent last summer in Emprise de Lyon, distributing food sent from the exalted plains. The Dales are finally recovering.
Corypheus left a great deal of damage for us to repair. I appreciate your efforts.
And I yours, your worship. I should mention that your forces at Suladin Keep were of great help. Please give my compliments to Baron Deschedin. Divine Victoria asked me to greet you on her behalf. She is currently attending to the Ferelden ambassador's concerns.
Hey, hello! I'm very sorry about all that. Hoping this actually works and stays connected. Looks like it. Okay, looks like we're back, we're good, and we're online. I'm sorry about that. The storm is a little bit worse than I thought it was. Oh, hold on, I'd better mute game audio really quick. Just because, you know, copytisms and whatnot. I don't know if it'll be a problem or not, but you never know. I don't want to risk it. If I go too long without turning it back on, somebody yell at me in the chat. But anyway, I hope that won't be happening again, and we should be alright for the rest of the night, but we'll see. We shall see. Oh. Oh, goody. Well, it autosaved relatively recently, so let's go for it. Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's try this one more. Shall we? Hopefully, we only need to try it one more time, and this won't be a persistent issue. Let's just rush through all of the hullabaloo. Get back to where we were, yeah? Let's go. It's a bit of loading, but we should be back on track. Right about now. The corruption is taking hold now. What doesn't hurt is numb. Hurt's all foggy. But the scientist in me can't help but describe what this feels like. My body's... Apparently that's what it feels like. The end of a loading screen. Anyway, we are back, and I think we're all set. If it does blink again, I'm sorry, I can't control the weather. Oh, come on now. This is unskippable. I mean, I get it. It's a big deal, but... Anyway. While they're doing their introductory things, I guess I'll chat about some random stuff that's been happening. Gosh.
Another parade.
I've at least heard that the Rings of Power has come out,
Everyone.
or kind of, for at least the previews
How we
and whatnot.
present ourselves.
Which is,
Divine
you
Victoria
know,
call the exalted council.
not
She's
great.
kept Orlais
Not
from
a great
bothering
thing.
us for the last 2 years.
We all
At
knew it was coming,
increasing
but
political cost, yes.
you can know
She
that a
has
train
done
is
all she
coming and
can,
still
but
wish
the
you out off
Exalted
track.
Council has become
So,
necessary.
From everything I have heard from
Orlais
everybody
would
I
control
trust on the
us.
matter, I haven't actually seen many
based on their
reviews.
many
Only a
marriage
few.
proposals, they have specific plans
It
for you.
it looks exactly like we all expected. They
Our
ruined a
real
great
concern
deal of
is
the lore,
Ferelden.
most of it
He would
intentionally,
see us disbanded entirely.
and especially did wonders, horrible wonders, but wonders nonetheless to Galadriel's character, who is one of my favorite characters in Tolkien. Maybe top 5, certainly top 10. deeply disappointed, but not surprised. Not in the least. Anyway, we're about back to where we were. So, here we go. To the conversation with Mother Giselle. In the odd liminal space of Exalted Council meeting.
Inquisitor, it has been too long. I hope the years have been kind to you.
Have you been, Mother Giselle?
I spent last summer in Emprise de Lyon, distributing food sent from the Exalted Plains. The Dales are finally recovering.
Corypheus left a great deal of damage for us to repair. I appreciate your efforts.
And I yours, your worship. I should mention that your forces at Suladin Keep were of great help. Please give my compliments to Baron Deschedin. Divine Victoria asked me to greet you.
By the way, I love that that is a little.
She's currently attending to
that's
the
a little head tilt
ambassador's concerns.
to something that you actually did, or we, I guess I should say, actually did in game, because you don't actually have to recover Suladin Keep in the Exalted Plains, or not the Exalted Plains, in Puys de Lyon. You don't have to do that at all. That is not essential to the main quest. That only happens if you actually go and do it. I'm pretty sure she only says that if you go and do it. I actually am not sure what she says otherwise if you don't. Could be she comments something to the contrary, but I'm not sure. That'd be neat. Let's see.
How do you think
This is where
Divine
we left off.
Victoria has done these last 2 years?
It is hardly for me to say, Inquisitor.
With respect, that's never stopped you before, Mother Giselle.
Victoria says she is better suited to the battlefield than the Sunburst throne, but she has restored the Chantry. And also people's faith in it. We are lucky to have her.
I'll speak to Divine Victoria.
I believe she would appreciate that, your worship. The Divine sees the good that you can do and have done. Duke Cyril will wish to greet you on behalf of Olay. I believe he is currently speaking with the Tevinter ambassador. Many of your friends have returned as well. I hope you have a chance to speak with them before the Exalted Council begins.
I will add at this point as well, relatedly, something that I mentioned near the end of last stream when they were doing the sort of how everything ended recap part. That the names of the Divine, which is their equivalent to the Pope, are not taken, they are given. Which is their excuse for whichever Divine you select, whichever Divine it happens to be, always receives the name Divine Victoria, because it's given by the Chantry. It's not taken, like papal names are, like real world papal names. And I'm not actually sure what the difference in symbolism is there. I almost prefer a name be given than taken. If only because a nickname, if you take a nickname, it's never gonna stick. But if you're given a nickname and you embrace it, it will. But that also applies to if you look at scripture especially, you'll see countless examples of God's trusted and chosen people given new names. The first papal name was Peter. Excuse me. Was Peter the First, who was Simon before. He was given a name. He didn't take the name Peter. So I actually kind of like that little touch here, and I guess it is probably for world build or for sort of game mechanical reasons more than world building or more than symbological reasons. But I still like it. I still like it for world building and symbological reasons.
The Imperium sent an ambassador.
Yes, your worship. Dorian Pavas has taken the chance to return from Tevinter. It will be good to see him again. I owe him my apology. I allowed my distrust of Tevinter to cloud my judgment. He took a great risk coming to help us and deserved better treatment.
You're going to apologize to Dorian?
You would have
I have little patience for those who cannot admit they were wrong, your worship. Myself included. I will have to make my apology somewhere public. He will want an audience for his reaction.
That's kind of undermines the point, but okay.
Who has returned for the Exalted Council?
Your dwarven friend, Master Tetras. For one, I understand he spent much of the last few years in Kirkwall. I believe Sir Blackwall has returned as well, although he now uses the name Tom Ranier. Enjoy time with them while you can, Your Worship. I doubt you will have the chance once the Exalted Council is underway.
Gosh, that whole waking up early thing is beating the
Thank
hell out of
you,
me.
Mother Giselle.
Your Worship,
Especially an extra half
a
hour.
final question, if I may. This Exalted Council, Ferelden would have the Inquisition disband. Olay sees its power as another feather in a chevalier's helmet. What do you wish to do with the Inquisition?
The Inquisition still has work to do. We can't let someone's fear push us into disbanding.
Then I wish you luck in the negotiations to come. Maker watch over you, Inquisitor. I will not keep you any longer.
So naturally, the Orlesians, with their love of the game and of political power and machinations, want control over the Inquisition, whereas Ferelden, being forever in fear of oddity and change, being fundamentally temperamentally conservative, want it gone. I can understand both perspectives, and honestly, I very much think that Ferelden's perspective is far more honorable. The Orlesian option of the Inquisition being taken over by Orlais is rather nasty to think about. If a force as powerful as the Inquisition,
I should look around.
excuse me, a force as powerful as the Inquisition, for it to be put into the hands of petty political forces is very, very dangerous, and could exacerbate political conflicts that already exist. The Grand Enchanter Lothrain Hardwin was the first leader of the Circle of Magi when it was founded in 120 Divine. After Hardwin distinguished himself in battle during the Second Blight, Emperor Draken himself endorsed him for the position. From all accounts, the Grand Enchanter performed admirably, but some speculate Hardwin was a second choice, that Draken had another mage with connections to Inquisitor Emeritin in mind for the job. That makes sense. It may have been Emeritin. Is that Cassandra? That's pretty badass. Ooh, expensive dog treats. Smells of hand to despair. All right, let's see what else is going on up here. Now this is also you'll note the same location where we had the that great ball. But now it's much bigger. It's expanded. We can go, over there and such. Cole in the last few years. Inquisitor, your suggestion regarding the young man Cole was excellent. He displays an uncanny ability to locate missing people. When hostile forces held our agents and we feared they would be killed if we approached, Cole was able to reach them without being detected. While he has been less useful overall at extracting intelligence, I have learned to trust his instincts about whether a target is trustworthy or malicious. Through your request, I have limited his assistance to rescue operations or attacks on clearly hostile forces. Whatever magic lives in the young man's mind, it would be poorly served by the less pleasant necessities of our work. His remarks about my family, while not germane to the mission at hand, were also greatly appreciated. Yours, Charter. Josephine, in the last few years, Inquisitor Trevelyan, Commander Cullen has reviewed the soldiers. I've written and received so many letters from the Orlesian court, our birds practically blot out the sun. We are prepared for this exalted council as we will ever be. I know this past year has been full of formal meetings. Goodness knows I've attended many myself, but this one will truly test the alliances and friendships we've worked so hard to build. If I may offer any advice, Inquisitor, it is this. Keep a ready smile, and remember we have their attention, because we are to be reckoned with. Respectfully yours, Ambassador Montelier. Diana in the last few years. Unfortunately, I must report that my attempt to use nugs in place of messenger birds in the deep roads has not gone well. Well, that's disappointing. On the first attempt, the nugs I released would not even go in the right direction, choosing instead to run around in circles and collide with walls while trying to squirm out from under the message canisters. After considerable training, the second attempt went slightly better, with only half trying to escape their collars, while the others at least tried to go in the right direction. However, none of the nugs arrived at the destination. I will require some of Charter's time in dealing with our Orlesian noblewoman I believe to be intercepting my nugs. From my surveillance, she appears to be dressing them in little frocks that are simply terrible. I love that. I just kind of love everything about that. A napkin. I once was a man from Hosper. Now I have to wonder what the rest of the limerick is. Anyway.
It's been quite a day so far, has it not? I've been speaking with representatives from everywhere.
Have they given you trouble?
Not at all. It is quite alarming. It means they are all saving themselves up for later. Would you walk with me? I should like to take some air before the Exalted Council becomes inescapable. The palace has been most accommodating. We are, after all, here at their insistence, but the ministers may... No. No more talk of the council. This meeting was to spend time with you in a more relaxed fashion.
Is this in your daily notes? 3 to 4 o'clock, idle chats with the Inquisitor.
Of course not. Not precisely.
Yes.
The truth is, there is a small
but actually,
entertainment
yes.
happening tonight, to which I may be able to find a pair of invitations.
You'd like me to go with you?
Very much so. In all the years you worked with Orlais, you had so little time to enjoy its culture.
Sure, why not?
Perhaps you're right. These meetings and talks don't allow for much leisure time.
And then back to Skyhold without a moment's pause to take in where we are. With all that's been happening, I promised myself a single evening out. I'd very much like to go with a friend.
And what is this small entertainment?
Something to ease our minds. I would very much like to surprise you with the details.
Well, okay.
Thank you for thinking of me. I'd be delighted to attend.
Splendid. I will arrange things at once. The past years have been so busy. We have earned at least a few moments of rest.
A calm night out sounds...
Oh, bravo! Bravo!
Was the woman in gold playing a king? Who was the man in feathers?
Oh, it's all very simple. The first actor's mask is determined by... well, I will lend you the program guide. But tell me, did you enjoy the performance?
That was... one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
I love that the chaos is just sort of implied.
That part with the glittery... and they actually set fire to... Yes, I truly enjoyed it.
Then I call tonight a great success. Oh, look! The encore signal!
So whatever it was insane and chaotic and very, very Orlesian. I do love that. It was great. Now, the whole filming people's reactions to the big deal of a thing going on is I mean, it's interesting because it does actually manage to do a good it has a good storytelling purpose. It also has that nice purpose of saving money. You don't have to put on the crazy spectacle. Oh, another hard and high time. Darn it, I eventually do really need to board that whole thing. Oop, there's a bone. Dog tweet. Uh-huh. Sneaky time. Tattered tome. This tattered book is well worn. Someone had read it and reread it dozens of times. Those who deny the truth are willfully ignorant, for what happened at the Temple of Sacred Ashes makes little sense as historians tell it. These men and women are clearly in the pay of those who want the matter silent. Reports of the wreckage claim nothing remains of the temple but rubble from the explosion. Chantry-controlled mages say a spell cast by the Magister Corypheus was amplified by a lyrium deposit beneath the temple, but this is folly. Learned professors and mages outside the Chantry have proven, in many writings, that even superheated lyrium cannot melt granite to beams. The destruction of the Temple of Sacred Ashes can only be the work of hidden Ophidian enslavers, the Snake Kings of the Earth, in their battle against Tevinter's allies from the moons. I, of course, know about them, as I hope to prove to the reader beyond doubt. A selection of educational charts illuminating my theories are at the back of this volume. It goes on like this for 400 more pages. I will read all 400 of those pages without hesitation. We have found a tome by Fantasy Alex Jones. Gotta love it. Old cravat. Okay.
Watch your tongue.
Maker.
I finished poem. Skimmed like gauze across the sky, I sigh and fall in evening's lakes, the pools of which deep as your eyes, the eyes of which pierce like wakes, drakes, heartaches, cakes. Maker, I hope my lady's patient. What's all this then? Something on the other side of the wall, I see. Oh, it smells of ham and excess. Alright, I dig it. Veric.
The Prince of Starkhaven wrote to you again.
Of course he did. Just put that one in the pile with letters from the Merchants Guild.
And the captain of the city guard had a very colorful message for me to deliver to you as well.
I'm so disappointed that neither of them are showing up, but fine.
Inquisitor! Andraste's ass, am I ever glad to see you?
And the Inquisitor comes to the rescue once again.
Is that what you call it?
This is Bran Caven. Until recently, he was the Viscount
Provisional Viscount.
of Kirkwall.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was that's the Viscount's son, the guy we rescued from the Gunari.
And what are you doing now?
I have resumed my post as seneschal now that Master Tethras has been elected Viscount.
You're the Viscount of Kirkwall now.
Wait, no, he's not.
Well, it seems the
Was
two
he?
of you have a great deal to discuss. Why don't I just leave you to it?
So, it turns
he-
out...
no, he was
you
the
fund
seneschal. No,
enough
that's right, that's right.
reconstruction efforts in a city-state, the nobles give you the worst job they can think of.
That's fantastic. You'll make an excellent Viscount.
I think the nobility figured, after Dumar and Perrin, what's the worst that could happen if we put the dwarf in charge? They voted me in because I got the harbor and businesses up and running again. They want shit fixed, and I can do that. Anyway, I was hoping I'd catch you before the summit got underway. I got you a sort of present. It's official recognition of your title and holdings in Kirkwall. Congratulations. You're a comtesse now.
You can't actually do that without...
Too late. Already did it. You should stop by Hightown sometime to see your estate. It's pretty nice. For Kirkwall, anyway.
Proper disposition of empty estates is supposed to...
You were leaving us to talk, remember?
What brought all this on? I'm pretty sure it's not Give Your Friends Lavish Titles Day.
Well, what kind of Viscount would I be if I didn't abuse my position to give shit to my friends? I've got traditions to uphold.
At least he knows the role of
Oh,
a politician.
that reminds me. It's the key to the city.
You can't give that away without approval from the council and a special ceremony.
It's just symbolic, anyway.
It controls one of the giant chain nets in the harbor.
Really? That is so much better than I thought.
This operates those giant chains. Can I try it?
No.
I don't know how this council thing is going to end for the Inquisition. But whatever gets decided, you've got a place lined up in Kirkwall if you want it. Also, control of the harbor, I guess. Anyway, you should meet with the diplomats. And we'll get in a game of Wicked Grace before I go back, though, right?
I wouldn't miss it.
Don't bet any public buildings this time.
Oh gosh,
It's true.
you all probably know how much I despise politicians, and Varric is doing exactly the kind of thing that politicians often do secretly, but he's just doing it right on the open. And so he is at the very least, he is excessively honest about the nature of politics, and that is actually, it's odd that is that kind of honesty about the I guess vile nature of politics, that is actually something that I really appreciated about Donald Trump. And now I say that knowing that like Donald Trump was not actually very, I mean, he was generally not very good. Let's just say that. He certainly had there were a lot of problems during his presidency, especially with foreign policy stuff, trade policy, and that sort of thing. And his general sort of vision of how the country is supposed to work, that kind of thing. He had his problems. That said, accomplished a lot of good things. I mean, a weird thing to say, but I would probably say, oh, that's the thing that lets you respec. Right. I would probably say that he is primarily responsible for things like a lot of the left who went completely mad and did a full circle. People like, oddly enough, people like Shia LaBeouf, for example. I mean, he's been in the news a lot lately, and his apparently what seems to be very sincere conversion to Catholicism. I mean, obviously, in large part, it was due to him really just hitting rock bottom after a big scandal and after all sorts of terrible things going on, and then he got really into the role of playing Padre Pio for a movie coming up, and so certainly that's a large part of it, right? There was a lot to that, more than just he went crazy and that drove him back off the deep end into the shallow end and back onto dry land. But there's certainly an aspect of that. I mean, first of all, he got Me Too, which was a movement that would not have happened if Trump hadn't been prominent. Me Too really took off in like 2017, 2018, and it was as a way of going after the big lecherous guy in the White House. And to be fair, and others, but that political climate led to it very strongly. And then also, just the whole "he will not divide us" thing just sent him way crazily out of the public eye, and I think led to him sort of having to find himself in large part. So anyway, all that aside, one of the things, so that's my wild, crazy, wacky thoughts about weird things that Trump did for national sanity. But I will say that he also just ripped the mask off of politics. Because I think, to use the mask metaphor, to continue that sort of thing, if we look to where we are right now, here, we're in the heart of Orlais at a gilded palace. Look at that. I mean, look at that. That's unbelievable. That's incredible. That's an edifice of political excess if you've ever seen one. And everything political in Orlais is masked. It is carefully disguised and secretive. Whereas we have Varric, who is just outrightly giving his friends political appointments, literal keys to the city, and noble titles, just because. they're both doing the same thing. It's just Varric is upfront about it. I can respect that. Read your notes. Oh, okay. I'm not going to go through all of this. But they're betting about what is going to happen with the Inquisition. Let's see what the note here is. Blackwell, in the last few years. Inquisitor, I hope this letter finds you well. I apologize for my prolonged absence. I've traced the whereabouts of one more of my former company. I'm writing you from Kirkwall, where he now resides. I knew him as Private Nicholas Lorry. He goes by Klaus now. Unlike so many of the men I betrayed, Klaus found a way to put his life together, without turning to crime. It doesn't in any way lessen the horror of what I did, but it was comforting to see at least one life not completely ruined by my actions. Klaus is married to a lovely lady. They run a small bakery. It didn't take him long to for recognition to dawn, and then I had 2 minced pies lobbed at my head. Pies that were fresh from the oven, mind you. It was a good thing I ducked. I made my apology. A swift duck saved his face. I made my apologies. Even after months of searching and making reparations, it was still hard. To his credit, Klaus allowed me to talk. We ended the visit with ales at the Hanged Man. I should return within the month. Thank you for allowing me this time, Inquisitor. Yours, Tom Rainier.
Fashionably late. I thought you weren't going to show.
I gave you my word we would talk, and I never break my word.
Easy there. I was just teasing. So tell me everything that happened while I was away.
Everything? Fade to black. All right,
After
there's
the
a lot.
betrayal and what I put those men through, my sorries were worth about as much as shit.
How many people hit you?
I lost count at 12, but I could take a punch. They needed to know that there's a way to come back from anything. And I wanted to help them if I could. I thought going up there on the gallows was difficult. This was worse. 100 times worse. Anyway, it's nice to be back, though I'm not sure what to think of this council. No matter what, you know you can always count on my sword arm and my friendship.
A note on that. On his sort of journey of repentance. First of all, it shows the difficulty of repentance, which really is a kind of death to oneself, dying to oneself. That's why the symbolism of baptism is drowning and rebirth. It's very poignant and very meaningful. But also, I like that this shows the redemptive arc of a villain that we don't often get to see. Don't often really get to see, and it's treated seriously. Too often, you see a villain redeemed just at the end. Usually before they either die, like Darth Vader, for example, is a great example of this. Yes, Vader is redeemed in the end, but then what? He dies immediately. He doesn't have to reconcile with the world, with the galaxy that he tore apart for almost 25 years. Or we have them to sort of leave the story, and we have to take their word that they're turning their life around. Or even the story will end and they begin to turn their life around, but we don't know what that looks like. We don't see the narrative of it. Or a villain gets a redemption arc where they just sort of change their ways, but never wind up acknowledging or making amends for anything that they did. We might say Loki might be a good example of this, especially if we go with the not the show Loki, but from the movies going up to Infinity War, where he died. Yes, he dies helping and trying to protect and save his brother. And that's something. That's really something. That is so much character development for him. But he doesn't, he never has to reconcile or do any kind of a recompense for example, what he did to Earth twice. Once with the Destroyer in Thor 1. Then again, what he did in the Avengers. with the Chitauri, right? None of that gets reconciled or even acknowledged by the end of it. It's hardly even a point made. It's just, this is something that happened in the past. Now we're going to move on past it. Part of recompense, part of reconciliation, or part of repentance is reconciliation. That's why it's another name for the sacrament. And without that, it's empty. It's almost meaningless. And I like that in this case, we really do get to see. I mean, maybe not directly, but we hear very much here and throughout the sort of latter third of the game how much he is having to do to try and repair the damage he did, and really doing it. And we see the impact on him, both on an emotional, personal level, as well as just the impact in the world, that he's actually going out and helping people, and they hate him for it, but they welcome it because they know what he's trying to do. And that's a very rare and a beautiful part of a redemption story that we seldom ever see. We almost never do see that sort of thing. The best other example I can think of is St. Paul. I mean, where we see him have to reconcile with the apostles. In Acts, we see him having to reconcile with the apostles whom he had just persecuted and even putting to death. And we see the reconciliation of love, which is damn near miraculous. Might actually, no, in that case, it's literally miraculous. And I think maybe you can argue that genuine repentance, especially repentance of something so significant to oneself, it has to be miraculous to an extent. That's why Christ's sacrifice was necessary. Well, let me give this.
Your aim is atrocious. I'm embarrassed for you.
Think you can do better?
Yes, I'm a rogue. One of my core class abilities is throwing knives at people. Ooh, tint armor. It's not gonna let me. It doesn't. I never see this, so it doesn't matter. Nice, but crafting. Modify. No. Okay. Moving along. Oh yeah. And now. Okay. Healing mist. Absolutely. Oh, we already got that one all the way up. RB sounds fun. Finish upgrading that. Oh no, I don't have enough Blood Lotus. I'll have to get some. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. That's fine. Tom Cole, who I still insist we're never going to use. We're really just never going to use Cole, unfortunately. And that's it. Another chapter of Hard and Height. 17. Notes on palace guests. Yeah, okay. I'm sure there's silliness in there, but I don't want to go through all of it. Dorian, in the last few years, it was good to hear from you, my friend. For months I've had only the society of Mavaris' fledgling Lucerne party. Junior members of the Magisterium, so filled with fire and zeal and so widely inept at politics. Meg keeps a bucket of ice water on hand in case one accidentally immolates himself. Lest I give you the wrong impression, we are making progress. But it will take a great deal of skill to keep the Lucerni alive through the usual schedule of Minrathous scheming long enough to become a real political faction. Fortunately, they do have me. I'm sorry to hear that politics are plaguing you as well. Must be something going around, like a pestilence or an Elysian fashion trend. Hopefully Josephine can diffuse the Ferelden outcry and persuade the Olesians to stop circling you with a collar and leash. You know, she did always love a challenge. I'll find an excuse to make a trip south soon. We should really catch up in person, don't you think? Don't you agree? Dorian. Absolutely. Contact becoming of the Inquisition. Okay, again, that's just etiquette stuff, which is neat. Carter's notes are left in encryption to develop with Liliana over the last couple of years. I don't think I need to worry about him. Iron Bull, thank you for sending the charges to assist in dealing with the demons attacking Montfort. Their assistance was most appreciated, and many lives were saved. The Iron Bull and his chargers have prevented another civil war from sweeping across Olay with the air efforts in Perrendale. So it's a bunch of, excerpts from letters of thanks relating the activities undertaken by Bull's chargers over the last 2 years. Nice, so he went around helping out. Wait, where'd it go? Yeah, no, there we go. No. I don't need to mess with my storage. Oh, charter.
Well met, your worship.
Nothing?
Well met, your worship.
Okay, nothing. That's fine. Nothing new. Let's see, what do we have here? Sandra in the last few years. You don't need me to dictate every word exactly to you. I may be divine, but that doesn't mean I have any particular skill at letter writing. Should I start with a joke? I don't know how to make hours upon hours of meetings with Grand Clerics sound anything less than mind-crushingly tedious. I also don't know how to make a joke about that. Something involving hats, probably. Varric would know. Very important that I sound reassuring. The Inquisitor has so much to deal with already and should not have to worry about the state of the Chantry, on top of everything else. You can say something about how well the Red Lyrium cleanup efforts have gone, can't you? And perhaps mention the Templars and Mages. No, never mind. That subject has been discussed to death. Oh, perhaps mention the play about the Inquisitor's heroism that's being performed in Val Royeaux. That would be good to hear about, I'm sure. Ugh. Disgusted noise. I'm late for a meeting with some revered mothers from Nivara. Just finish this up with something appropriate. With the grace and benediction of the Maker, Divine Victoria. I'm glad I got her words verbatim. That's wonderful. Colin, word is spread from Denerim about the summit the Inquisition will attend. The news is half rumors, but with representatives they say are going, it's clearly serious, and the details are probably not something you can put down in a letter. I will, however, look forward to more glowing descriptions about how much you love Orlesian parties. I'm sure you and Evelyn, or Sable, sorry, because I named her wrong, will find enough danger away from the summit. You always do. Is it worth warning either of you to be careful? Branson's here. His son insists I add Elo call to this letter. He also insists it be Elo, not Hello. Your nephew is stubborn. How very familiar. Love, Mia, his sister. Sweet. Varric from the last few years. Greetings and salutations from beautiful Kirkwall. The sun is shining, the seabirds are screeching, and almost nothing in Hightown has fallen into a sinkhole that ended up in the sewers in over a month. The Red Lyrium cleanup in the gallows is going even better than expected. No mean misses having Meredith fused to the flagstones, eerily glaring at everyone. The city guard celebrated finally getting her out of there by holding a completely impromptu parade. Several Lowtown residents composed a song on the spot with lyrics to the effect of "Thank the Maker, the crazy cursed Templar is gone," which was remarkably catchy, despite, or maybe because of the fact that it was mostly just swearing in tune. Even with all this stellar progress, it looks like I'm stuck here. Channels in the harbor were completely changed by falling debris a few years back. I wonder how that happened. Which led to a lot of ships getting wrecked, coming and going, which only made things worse. Then we had rifts open. Weird glowing fade rocks appeared out there. Incidentally, thanks for closing the rifts. Now, the only hope for repairing the harbor is to send guys with pickaxes to clear the rocks. Ever try to hire miners who are also divers, Inquisitor? There aren't many. And even fewer are happy mining glowing shit made from the Fade. This is going to take a lot of my coin to fix. Stop by the city sometime. We'll get in a game of Wicked Grace. Please, this Viscount shit is boring me to death. Veric. Nice. Vivienne. The one who isn't divine. I fear I shall have no opportunity to meet with you prior to the Exalted Council at Haram Sharal. Colleges and fraternities of enchanters are holding yet another round of elections in a few months, and I must be present to organize everything, or the Equitarians and the Crosians will inevitably get drawn into the most passive-aggressive arguments over the number of ballot boxes and the arrangements of voting cards you can possibly imagine. On the last two occasions, when I could not be spared from my duties at the Imperial Court, the isolationists sealed themselves inside the debating area with ice walls, in protest over some insult from a libertarian senior enchanter from Cumberland. That sounds very much like all of those parties. I must, of course, convey the continuing approbation of the Orlesian Court, though I have no doubt dear Duke Cyril has already bored you to death with the Council of Heralds' compliments by now. Cordially, Vivienne. Alright, what else have we? Is there stuff back here? I feel like there probably ought to be.
Of course not.
People. And a thing. Wait. There's a thing above me. That's right. Arden Hightown, chapter 14. Expensive dog treats. That. How do I get it? Alright. That's my new mission. To get that bottle of something or other. Thing. Another chapter of Arden Hightown. Which I need to record that someday. I simply must. I have a few other things I still need to do on my plate as far as videos go. So it's been on the back burner for a little while, and it's hard to find the time to try and properly record something like that. Okay, here we go. We're on a nice ledge. We're on a nice ledge. We need a nice running start. Oh! Darn it. Okay. Okay. Well, we made it. There's progress. We know it's possible. Let's do this again. Anyway, so other things I have been doing, other things that have been going on lately. I started classes this week. Actually, for real this time, as I mentioned last time, that there was a bit of a mix-up with the schedule. And here I went thinking that the classes started last week due to a misread. But everything is fine, and classes started as usual this week. And there was the... Oh, darn it, I almost made it. There was the modified schedule today, which was a bit of a pain, but not too bad. All manageable, just shortened classes. Which I will say, the shortened classes today of all days was somewhat inconvenient, because today we were doing you're basically doing a watch together and comment, a commentary and discussion on that street epistemology video, which if you've seen my commentary on it already, you know, oh boy, no, turn it up. You know what my class was in for. If you haven't, I'll put a link to it in the description. Write this down. So I can put a link to it. Basically, it is my it's my introduction to philosophy of religion. Discussion, lecture, video, etc. And it is analyzing this video interview in a street epistemology format. So basically, somebody going up and asking somebody Socratic questions, almost what is also now used in sort of the Change My Mind style format, the Stephen Crowder's Change My Mind style format, that sort of thing. We can do this. Oh, no. Here we go. And it goes kind of poorly, quite honestly. The discussion is a little bit poorly done. Got it. Okay, got it. Okay, I fell, but I got it. Oh. I don't even know what that was, but I got it. Bottled cognac. All right. Anyway, so it was an 11-minute video, which my own video discussing the thing is nearly an hour long. We had a 50-minute class to go over everything and also discuss. So that was a difficult proposition. And one of my classes, the one for which I was a bit late, we only got through the first, 2.5 minutes before I got sidetracked on another important issue. Talking about facts versus opinions. I also have a video on that. I'll link that too. But yeah, I'll link that as well. But I got sidetracked onto that 2.5 minutes in, so we didn't get very far. The other two classes, we got through more or less what we needed to. And that is always a fun discussion. I just wish I had more time for it than I did this semester. That's all.
Inquisitor, I see you have time for afternoon refreshments.
Did you know that a merchant in the courtyard is selling gemstones the same color as your eyes?
What an odd thing to say. I must see this for myself.
That is weird that worked.
You're useful to have around, Cole.
I still don't understand Orlesians and their masks, but it makes him happy. And I needed the table.
For breadcrumbs?
Birds like breadcrumbs.
Those are disturbingly ugly crows. Have I ever mentioned that?
Oh, Cole, good day. I didn't see you there.
But I saw you, as lovely as your songs.
Aww.
I'm pleased for both of you.
The world has ample pain, Inquisitor. The kindness found in Cole is rare indeed.
Her songs bring happiness to those who hear, and I can make her happy in return.
Well then, carry on.
Oh, I love it.
Scout lays Harding, swift and cunning, her
I love it.
catch you
Wonderful and delightful.
Scout lays
Gilden Horde's drink menu: golden nug, effervescent white Thelany wine with a dash of West Hill brandy and a splash of pomegranate juice, muddled with raspberries and a spring of Royal Alfred. I'd try it. The Hissing Drake, a bold mix of cinnamon-infused whiskey, dark Lormiran rum, and Hero's Lava Burst. Not for the faint of heart, not for the faint of stomach or heart. Okay, I'd try that too. I don't know what Hero's Lava Burst is supposed to be, but I feel like these are things that you could actually make. You could probably come up with something like that. Prophet's Laurel Gin, which probably just basically just gin, served with a wedge of lime and a thimble of Golden Scythe. Golden Scythe is basically Drambuie, I think. It's like a honey whiskey, if I recall. Which actually, that sounds really good. Sounds really good. Gin and Drambuie with a bit of lime. Yeah. That gives me the impression of something like a nice honey tea. It's almost like a tonic. I would really like that. I should try that. Anyway. The Emerald Valley, made with a spirit distilled by Chantry Sisters in Leeds from over 70 herbs and flowers, topped with egg white foam dusted with nutmeg. That sounds familiar. Would be good. A Night of Shame, our sweetest Antivan port with a dash of chocolate bitters and a twist of orange, served in a flute of chilled syrup glass. Okay. I don't like chocolate in my wine at all, ever. Brandy Dowager, rumored to have been concocted by the editor of Olay's most scandalous periodical herself. A tall glass of abyssal peach liqueur and fresh cream, garnished with sugared rose petals, and served on a silk handkerchief with a scandalous rhyming couplet inked on it by the bartender. I mean, it's peach liqueur and cream. It's peaches and cream. I mean, yes, that does sound good. That goes well together, fine, but that's one of those, like, frou-frou drinks that are wildly simple but incredibly overpriced because of the gimmick. That's what that sounds like to me. Dinner is past, and now things. Lost another book. Stop leaving them places. Below were journal entries by Sarah. Also, several sketches of Skyhold with impeccable cross-hatching. Really. Moving again. Less stuff, more things. People things. Too many vowel somethings. Name less stupid or lay. Last Jenny checked in. Wasn't worried. A drawing of a gloved fist holding an odd symbol, smashing against the face of a chevalier. The symbol's red and smells of a strawberry. Traveling again and again. Been here before. We're everywhere. Back to the Winter Palace? Never good. Pack of bees. Bet Varric we're in trouble. Scratched out. Varric won't take a sucker bet. In for 10 with Colin. Everybody looks old and tired and fat. Find who shrunk my Skyhold clothes. Ace. What? Okay. Don't say the Inquisitor's hand looks bad. It looks very bad. Is Whittle even here? Why do I go where there's no Whittle? Drawing of Sarah and Dagna silhouetted by an explosion, bees, and exploding bee. Oh god. Chargers in the palace. No one will be sleeping. Rainier hugs harder than Blackwall, still beardy. Josie is best here. Cassandra needs to punch something or she'll explode. That is, yes. Oh god. That is the problem with her being divine, is that it's a very peaceful existence. A very peaceful office. That's not her. Everyone? They never call it everyone. Liliana knows something. Knew it. Inquisition's in trouble. Alright, well, let's see what she's up to then. Shall we?
Inquisitor Herald. Glad to be back for whatever it is this lot have shoved up their sleeves. Just right up in there.
That's it? It's been some time.
Well, we don't know what's what, so what's there to go on about? It's Inquisition business, innit? That's all we are. Maybe sort out how they want to mess with us. Then there'll be something to talk about.
Okay. What about Bull?
Your worship, I'm glad you're here. Listen, I need you to keep the chief distracted while we sneak this dragon skull through the room behind him.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes.
It's for his birthday.
I'll see what I can do, Krem.
All right, here he comes. Just keep him talking. He loves talking.
Hey, boss. Good to see you.
It's good to see that the Veil has largely healed, now that most of the major rifts are
I know,
closed.
being small talk time.
You might think otherwise, but the Veil isn't technically a physical barrier. It's more like a magical vibration that repels the Fade.
Incredible how little he cares about that.
Did you know that Ferelden has its own names for lords? The country is divided into Ternes, governed by Terns. Inside those are cities and Arlings ruled by Arls, and then there's the Banorn. It's a large area of countryside ruled by multiple bands.
Good to know.
Come on, guys, hurry and push the damn thing. He's getting bored.
It's fascinating to see the remnants of Syrian culture here. Most of it was deliberately erased during Orlesian unification under the reign of Mafarath's son Isarath.
Uh-huh.
Do you think news of the Exalted Council could affect the lyrium shipments from Orzammar?
Maybe.
Why do you even want to get it in the bar? And then how are you going to get it out?
I'm sorry, I can't do this.
Sure you can. They must have that thing almost across the room by now, right? Benhasra. Remember.
Surprise! Happy birthday, Chief!
Oh, you guys. You got me.
I love how he winks with his one eye. Can a Cyclops properly wink? Oh gosh. Alright. Is that everybody? Oh no, there's some people on the other side, I think. That's everybody over here. Unless there's anything to look at or find on the balcony. What did I miss? Ooh, a dog treat. Aside from absolutely beautiful countryside. I love that. That is... Look at that. Look at that. Ooh, 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 I can look. Oh, cute little town with a windmill. It's delightful. I don't actually know if we're going to get to any actual questing tonight. We'll see. We're only almost halfway through. Storms of Temptation. This tattered novel bills itself as sweeping romance on the 8 seas by Daniel Mithril. The cover shows a dark-skinned elf with long platinum hair hanging by one hand from the mast of his ship, a dagger in his teeth, a woman in an elaborate mask, low-cut dressed and almost as much hair as the elf, gasps up from the base of the mast. The elf is glaring at a tanned and chiseled human pirate, grinning as his vessel pulls alongside the elf's ship. For the first elven captain in the Antivan Navy, Kill Zebulon's inaugural assignment was a routine trading mission down to Wycombe. Little did he know that the fiery amethyst Coron, a passenger he picked up in the free marches, was heir to an enormous fortune, a fortune Ravani pirate prince Elrado Urukan would do anything to get his hands on. Unable to resist Amethyst's pleas for help, Kael found himself racing to get her back to Val Rio, even as the ferocious Urukan pursued them, and their passions ensured the 8 seas would never be the same. There's a note scribbled on the inside cover in dainty handwriting. If found, please return to Lady Yvette Montpellier. Josephine's sister, right? Oh my god. That's worse than Varric's. Speaking of, there's another chapter. We'll do a reading of it at some point. Another dog treat, nice. I will. Willing that into being and willing myself to do so. It'll happen. Alright. Alright, we've looked around at this side. Now let's go over there to the other side. Oh, speaking of drinks, a little bit over there in the bar. Got a couple of things tonight. I have a spiced Earl Grey tea. I just put some mulling spices in, and very good. Mulling spices do very well in Earl Grey. And I've got another of these Elysian Night Owls. I do highly recommend these things. It's a pumpkin beer that's actually pumpkin-y tasting, not just pumpkin spice. It is pumpkin spice a little bit. Elysian makes another one that is more pumpkin than spice. It's also very good. This one is still good though. I do recommend it. Nice. Heart at Hightown, Chapter 11. We, again, like I said, I'm going to keep saying it, but eventually I will get around to reading it. Look at that. What's in here? Ooh, a silver ring found in a fountain. Does it need to tell me where it was found? I just found it. A broken mask. Pieces of a broken mask found inside a velvet bag. What's left of the mask is covered in green jewels and eagle feathers. A scrap of paper inside the bag reads simply, "Try again." I wonder if any of these... Oh my gosh, excuse me. Pumpkin's getting to me. I wonder if any of these little things are the least bit significant. They seem like they ought to be. I'm not going to go up there yet, because that's where I need to meet with the ambassador. I'm just going to go for it. Ready, set... Ooh, no, I'm all wet. I'm all wet.
To mingle.
Another chapter of Heart in Hightown. What's that? Something right here. Excuse me, Vivienne. I'd love to talk to you, but there's something near you. I wonder if it's on the roof. And then I wonder how to get up onto the roof. It has to be, right? There has to be a way up there in that case. Hasn't there? Oh, yes. There's a little bridge. Would you look at that? Aha. Another chapter of Heart in Hightown. Ah, more dog treats. I have a feeling that those expensive dog treats are going to come in handy somewhere down there. Just maybe. Oh wait, I can just go look. Birds. Oh, yeah, just Conan playing with the puppy. Being sketchy, watching people. Okay. I don't think there's anything else to find up here. So, let's hop on down. Whee! Land on the couch. Talk to Vivienne. I'm sure she will appreciate us landing on the fine couches.
Darling, you made it. Excellent. I scheduled this appointment ages ago, and they do appreciate punctuality.
Appointment?
With the Imperial Garden Spa, of course. You work so hard, my dear. I wanted to treat you.
Sure.
Well, that's very generous.
I know. I even surprise myself sometimes.
Ah! Must you be like this? Cheese wheels.
What are the cheese wheels for?
It pains me that you even have to ask. You've clearly been living too long in barely civilized conditions.
Did you hear something?
Relax, darling.
Wait, who was
Spa
that?
Day. How have you been? It seems ages since we've spoken. How are things
Sarah?
with our dear Commander Cullen?
Are you digging for gossip, Vivienne? Trying to get me to give up the juicy details?
Merely expressing concern for your well-being, my dear. Someone ought to.
Okay, well, it's not just Sarah anymore.
Do you come to this spa very often?
As often as I can. Sadly, no more than twice a year at best. Duty first.
Oh. It's not Sarah.
Don't you feel better, my dear? This place really does work miracles.
What happened?
Darling, it's Spa Day. Don't fret. You'll undo all the good they've done. Come along, Inquisitor. They have other appointments, you know.
There's a bunch of ham and a banana on a stick. Several bananas on sticks. Now I'm confused. That's not normal. It's not normal at all. Anyway. I like the little touch of the cheese wheels. That's very, very Dragon Age. Dragon Age is almost is oddly obsessed with cheese, and I'm all about it.
Will you walk with me?
When you say that, does not sound like I have a choice.
The first time I came to the Winter Palace, I was only 18. I was dazzled. Such rich hangings, splendid marble columns, more golden lions than I could count. It's all still here, still bright, but I no longer see that same palace.
And that makes you sad?
It is easier on the heart to just see gilding. Now all I can see are the knives in the shadows, the poison in jeweled goblets.
Being a spy will do that to you.
They seek to tear the Inquisition down. You feel it, no? Fear.
Have we not made enough allies?
If friends were easily made and kept, we wouldn't need diplomacy. Our allies can be cordial to our faces and still dread the future. They are afraid of nothing so much as the hand that directs it all.
Mine.
Already your actions have begun to reshape Thedas. Your influence is felt everywhere. It was only a matter of time before they moved. I'm surprised it took this long. When the time comes, consider giving them what they want.
What? You're not serious.
They cannot act against what they cannot see. Publicly, I will of course retire from this life, as one would expect. Let them think they finally won. I shall take up charity work, become a patron of the arts, as all respectable women of my age do. And perhaps take on a protégé. Our work never ends, Inquisitor. We just need fewer witnesses.
I mean, she's onto something there. I have heard far worse ideas.
Those Fereldans, always afraid to mingle.
Actually, you know what? Before we go up,
So many gathered in this place.
I think I can just walk by them and not talk to them just yet. I want to find everything. Lacquered box containing 5 pots of blush, 3 jars of lipstick, a small but sturdy hairbrush, and dozens of brightly jeweled hairpins and ribbons. A note fixed on the inside of the lid reads, "A few supplies for emergencies. My petite love, mama." Okay. Oh, Caprice coins. Stamped with lion on one side and the Chantry Sunburst. I love that little tradition. A fountain was erected in commemoration of the end of the Civil War and the slaying of Corypheus by the Blessed Herald of Andraste, Inquisitor Evil Trevelyan, in the 42nd year of the Dragon Age. Let the song of its water be as laughter, let the cool of its stone be as memories gone, dedicated by Her Imperial Majesty Empress Celine, in memory of those who fell to protect and preserve the Orlesian Empire. I mean, it is a nice fountain, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't seem to be too, like, symbolically rich. Like, this could be commemorating basically anything. That's a little bit disappointing. I wish it were a bit more specific, you know? What's this? Anakurj Halfer. A diverse catalog of treasures, billing itself as the most distinguished retailer of fine goods and novelties to the rich since 786 Storm. This booklet is filled with woodcuts of strange trinkets, the world's best articulated Everite backscratcher, complicated-looking devices, the only triple-decker carriage with Orzammar-designed wheel locks for smoother braking, and specialty items. Be the first to enjoy the amazing cooling properties of drakeskin lining in one's evening mass. It makes me wonder if that was about the, what's his name? The guy you bought the nug thing from? The way too expensive product in the box. Is that a nice, like a big old mince pie? It's yummy. A dispatch from the Crown of Ferelden. To our honored friend, Arl Tegan. Thank you for attending this exalted council. We trust you implicitly with Ferelden's wishes and fight for the security of our borders. Messengers will be dispatched daily so that you are not cut off from us as you undertake this duty. May it be with you, King Alistair and Queen Honora of Ferelden. A postscript has been scribbled faintly at the bottom of the page. Good luck, Uncle. If there's anyone I'd rather have there than me, it's you. Or anyone else, really. But thanks for braving the lion. Yeah, leave it to Alistair to not want to do court duties. It's king. If I recall, I don't think we hardened Alistair. I think he remained a bit of a goofball. Before I talk to Colin, what's this? A gazebo. A reminder, while the gazebo is available for festive occasions, deposits are non-refundable in cases of flood, fire, or imperial whim. Book accordingly.
Those Fereldans, always afraid to mingle.
Yeah, hey, Cullen. And dog?
You there! You're to dodge, not catch. If that ball were a fireball, you'd be dead.
That's a big old Mabari.
You found a dog?
They don't breed Mabari in Olay. The merchant said he was abandoned. Perhaps his owner's tired of the novelty.
Poor boy. Well, he seems happy now.
Another Ferelden trapped at the Winter Palace. I couldn't leave him to that fate. Besides, I think he likes me.
I never expected you to make friends at a political council. How times have changed.
So they have. The Inquisition will change after this. I'm not yet sure what that will mean. Still, I've found certainty in my life now. The Council won't change that. Marry me.
What?
I mean, will you...
We'd interject, dog.
I had a plan, and it wasn't a dog, but you were... it doesn't matter. I've thought of little else, and I don't need a plan. Only to know if you would.
I would. Cullen, I will.
Aw.
You will.
People will notice the Inquisitor marrying her commander in the middle of the Exalted Council.
About time, though.
It won't go over well. We know a few people who can keep things secret.
Secret's dumb. Man, you guys totally should have been married by Cassandra.
Everything feels like it was worth fighting for.
Totally should have been married by Cassandra. That would have been the excellent little cherry on top. Make a little disgusted noise right before everyone says I do. It's perfect.
It was.
This is the part where you make a promise.
Oh, right. I swear unto the Maker and the Holy Andraste to love this woman the rest of my days.
I give the dog a bunch of treats now. Oh, wait.
There you are. I just realized I'm greeting my wife. I rather like this.
All right. Dog treat. Dog treat. Dog treat. Dog treat. Oh my god, I'm getting Constitution for this? Dog treats. Oh my god, the dog loves me so much, it's making me stronger. Way stronger. Oh my god. It's insane. What did that just do to my stats? Started 91. Oh, wow. Well, my constitution was atrociously low before. So, that's good, I guess. Wait a minute, am I max level? Hold on. I'm max level, aren't I? Hold on. I didn't realize it's gone. Anyway. Back. Anyway, yeah, I did not realize that we were 1, max level, 2, our constitution was so low. That is why I keep dying. Well, I mean, that's why I instantly die if my guard and barrier get worn down. But it's really hard to wear through my guard and barrier, so I don't usually. Okay.
Ole is on your side, Lord Parvis. The Inquisition support is not a thing to lose lightly.
Which is why the Orlesian court is circling it with a net and collar? But you'll have to excuse me. I see an old friend I must greet.
I like the additional
Inquisitor,
layers he's
how long has
started
it
wearing.
been? Don't actually tell me. I despise feeling old. It's good to see you, my friend.
I love the additional layers he has, but he also keeps his old look of sort of randomly exposed bits of torso. It's still very Dorian, but it's upscaled a bit. I like it.
You arrived ahead of me. I hope all's well.
It's everything I expected. We've been spared the burden of surprise. Orlais wants the Inquisition tamed, Ferelden wants it gone, the Chantry meddles, and Tevinter sends but one ambassador. That's me, by the way. A reward for my interest in the South.
It sounds like a punishment,
Thankfully,
but okay.
Ambassador Pavis is a token appointment. Call on me as you like.
Inquisitor, Duke Cyril Montfort, member of the Council of Heralds and Lord of Chateau Haine. I have long followed your work. It is extraordinary.
Is that sentiment shared by the rest of the court?
Of course. Ole wishes only to offer respectful guidance to the Inquisition.
Does your grace feel the Inquisition should continue to rule itself?
I would rather see the Inquisition join us freely than be carved into pieces for the chessboard. I have not forgotten Justinia's death. I had friends who perished at the Temple of Sacred Ashes. More than the good you have done, it is a good we may do together I don't wish to lose. Whatever happens, Inquisitor, I wish you well.
Notice he has a wyvern breastplate. And also notice that was the most... That was an expertly veiled... an expertly veiled attempt at taking control of the Inquisition. Under the guise of allyship. Its unsigned note increased as if it had been secreted away in someone's pocket. Dearest J. I agree, it is surprising that the Fereldans come as equals, but the Exalted Council is in the heart of Sethro-Alay. That cannot be lost on our neighbours. Empress Celine has stayed in Valrayo to appease the delegation of Navarrans, or so her messengers say. It is obvious the Empress stays away to daunt the demands that she bring the Inquisition to heel. One would almost think that Celine believes they will find a way out of their bind. So strangely naive at her age.
Divine Victoria, am I interrupting?
Not at all. The Jarl of Redcliffe was telling me of events in Denerim. He represents Ferelden at the summit.
Inquisitor, good to meet you.
I like the Ferelden outfit. The nobility outfit. It's odd that he has a bunch of different devices around his collar. I don't know how well you can see that up there, but it seems like he has a bunch of different crests or devices up there, which is a little bit odd. Also, I don't know if those shoulder pieces are actually meant to be armor, but if those are like iron or bronze, my god, would they be heavy. I have to assume that's hardened like armor leather or something like that. And even still, it would be quite the inconvenience if you do this. it does make a good look, though. I think you could still do it with cloth, but it's a good look. And the smock, I guess you'd say, it's not quite a tabard. It's actually it's almost a tabard, with at least Ferelden colors. I like it. Anyway, I generally like the look, but the details are a little wonky. This is what I'm trying to get at.
How are things in Redcliffe, my lord?
Blessedly quiet. The mayor conveys his greetings. Redcliffe remembers its savior.
I had hoped to steal a moment of the Divine's time.
Very well. We'll continue this later, your perfection.
I am supposed to
sounded
be
back-ended.
impartial while speaking for the Chantry, but I confess that neutrality is beyond me. I may be the Divine, but I will always be your friend. And I can hardly ignore the fate of the Inquisition that I began.
This whole thing was kind of your idea, so yeah, that's a good point.
Is there anything I can do to make your job easier?
You could find me a sword and something to hit.
You got
I
it,
must attend
Cass.
to other matters. If you need me, I am ready to assist. Unconditionally.
You got
I'm
it,
glad you
Cass.
finally arrived, Inquisitor. The Crown's anxious for news.
And your thoughts on Ferelden's position?
The breach is long gone, yet Skyhold's army remains. Ferelden can't continue to ignore soldiers on its borders.
I appreciate knowing where Ferelden stands.
You are owed that, Inquisitor, especially here. These Orlesians will talk circles around you before you get a simple greeting out. I won't keep you longer. We'll have words enough when the Exalted Council begins.
I really like the contrast between the two. Like I was saying before, how the Orlesians are very secretive and very underhanded, and very roundabout in everything that they're saying. Missed a dog treat. Whereas the Fereldans are extremely forthright, straightforward, and almost downright aggressive. And it's quite the distinction to make. I like to see it. It's cool. It's a really good cultural distinction. Yay, it's all the treats. Where you going, Pupper? Where you going? Don't bring me some. Oh no. What is this? Cudgel of the Gold and Ebon Queen. Oh my god. On hit, chance to inflict bees on the target. What in the world? Thanks, doggo. I don't know who I'm going to give that to at all, but... Maybe I'll give it to Cass. Maybe I'll give it to Cass. Oh no! It's not actually that good. No. I want to give it to Sarah, but she can't eat. She like literally just cannot use it. No, that's just better. But B. Oh man. Oh, I love it. It's so stupid. I love all the joke weapons in this game. They're great. Weapons and armor, for that matter.
As the most
everyone's here.
eloquent dwarf you know, Sparkles...
Speech! Speech! Way too much speech.
Varric, there's really no need.
What's going on?
Inquisitor! You're just in time. Sparkles, the Imperium doesn't deserve you. Or want you. It may even kill you. But we'll miss you. If it counts.
What?
And you didn't know. Okay, folks. Time to take the party elsewhere.
Tama never wanted any. I swear.
Leave him.
It's true. When the Exalted Council has ended, I'm going back to Tevinter. For good, this time.
Aw.
You know I'll miss you.
Naturally. My father is dead. Assassinated, I believe. I received notice this morning. A perversely cheerful letter congratulating me on assuming his seat in the Magisterium. We only met a few times while I was home. He didn't say anything about keeping me as his heir. That's ambassadorship,
really grim.
His doing, I'm told. He must have wanted me away when the trouble began. I have to go back.
So you'll truly be a Magister?
Oh, yes. I can't wait to degrade the Magisterium with my presence. A new outfit is required.
Another one.
And then what?
I find my father's killers and kill them back. Then I find those giving Tevinter a bad name and kill them. They're most likely the same people, so that should make the job easier.
You'll need help. I could go with you.
Not this time, my friend. I won't be entirely without support. Mayveris has gathered other Magisters who feel as we do. We'll be an actual faction in the Magisterium. I'll teach them manners, take them shopping. It'll be fun.
I know it was complicated, but I'm sorry about your father.
Thank you. It still doesn't feel real.
I wish you safe travels, and the best of luck.
Oh, I'll need it, thank you. Magisters are tricksy bastards. A present. A going-away present. It's a sending crystal. Amazing what friendship with the Inquisition gives you access to. If I get in over my head, or you're overwhelmed with sorrow for lack of my velvety voice... Magic. What? You didn't think I would just leave and you'd never hear from me again, did you? You are my dearest friend. Perhaps my only friend. That will never change, no matter where we are. Now let's finish the good wine before the others get back.
Hold on. I just realized that by equipping my armor, I had taken off the dress. So no, keep our formal wear on. Anyway, that was... Aw. Nice. I have to wonder how much of this will impact the next game as well, because the next game is, I believe, set to take place in Tevinter. And so that tells me that Dorian is almost certainly going to be back in the next game. It'll be cool. It'll be good to have him. Good to have more familiar faces in important roles. And important roles is really a key here, because a lot of times in these games you'll have just sort of cameos of characters from previous games, but very seldom do you have important roles reprised. From Origins to 2, there was almost no one, in fact. Leliana shows up once. Meryl had a tiny little cameo part in one of the Origins and Origin.
Maybe.
Lemeth, I guess? Like, no one else, though, is a recurring character from Origins to 2. Then from 2 to Inquisition, we have Varric, at least. And that's something. Hawke shows up and does his thing, but then hecks off. He's not a major player.
I'm pouched.
Varric is the only companion we've had more than once. Ever. At all. Disappointing. A little weird. Hold on. Let me go ahead and save in case I forgot anything. I don't think I did, but let's go for it.
Thank you, Your Holiness. Now, Artigan, as to your concerns...
The Inquisition established an armed presence in Ferelden territory. You outright seized Caer Bronach in Crestwood.
Yes, from bandits. Would you like us to give it back to them?
Your help was appreciated 2 years ago, Inquisitor. Now order has been restored, yet you remain.
Invading under pretext of restoring order is exactly what the Grey Wardens did to us centuries ago, and we exiled them. Now
What
the
that
Inquisition
turnout?
is doing the same thing with Grey Wardens in their ranks.
Your concern is ill-founded. The Grey Wardens have proven their worth time and again.
Of course Orlais tolerates this interference. The Inquisition is the only reason Selene still has the throne.
Rest assured, Tegan, the Empire of Orlais will not stand idle if the Inquisition oversteps its bounds. Unlike Ferelden, however, Orlais understands that these were the well-intentioned mistakes of a young organization.
An organization in need of a guiding hand. Yours, no doubt.
Pardon me, Inquisitor. Sister Leliana asked to speak with you in private.
Something has come up. I'll be back.
What?
This is highly irregular.
Are we not even worth the Inquisitor's time?
Let Josephine handle this. Trying to excuse myself from an affair like this is definitely going to be far, far worse than just letting Josephine handle it. She knows how to do these sorts of things.
Inquisitor, I thought you would want to see this.
Oh.
A Qunari warrior in full armor. How did he get into the Winter Palace?
Qunari warrior?
Would the Iron Bull
A
know
human
anything about
Qunari
this?
warrior.
I asked, and he is as surprised as we are. Since becoming Tal-Vashoth, he has had no contact with his people. He seems frustrated at not knowing more.
Deadly mysteries at the Winter Palace. Throw in a Hulla statue and some Caprice coins, and it's just like old times. Can Josephine manage the diplomats while I look around?
She will be fine. It's all speeches and posturing for the first few days anyway. I will ask Divine Victoria to call a recess for now. I will also have our friends ready themselves for battle if need be.
You think that's likely?
I think the Exalted Council may be more exciting than we expected.
Well, Divine Victoria is going to be thrilled by the very prospect of violence. Yes, investigation, but primarily violence. Let's see. Can we equip Cassandra? No. Doesn't have her nice divine armor yet.
It looks like he came down over the railing.
Ooh. That's broken, alright. More blood. Let's put on our armor for this. For the hardcore parkour. No. Really need.
An active illuvian.
Oh.
If I'm going through it, I'm not going alone.
Can I add to my party yet? Or... Okay, cool. I can select my party. Let's bring Divine Victoria, Tom Rainier, and... not Solus. Cannot bring Solus. Can I bring Iron Bull? No, I don't want to bring all three warriors. That would be silly. I do need to bring a mage. Let's bring Dorian. He's been a little bit broken up about everything, so... Yeah, let's bring Dorian. Whoa. a fade or a
This is the
crossroads?
crossroads.
No, crossroads.
Morrigan brought me here while showing me the alluvians.
This is a much larger area than I thought. Oh, hey, it is a Hala statue. We're supposed to bring back to the Winter Palace. Okay. Blood trail. A little bit odd that there is water flowing here. Okay, hold on, let's see. There's an alluvian down here. It looks locked.
Judging by the bloodstains, he tried to get through here.
Is there a problem?
This mirror doesn't look broken, but it's inactive. Maybe there's a way to unlock it.
Tried to get through but couldn't. Oh, hey, here we go. Now she has her cool divine armor. Check that out. That looks glorious. All gold. Let's keep going. Well, there's an active one.
The blood trail leads to this mirror.
Let us see where this Kunari came from.
Miss anything? No. Right. Let's see. Some kind of a well-lit dungeon? Pyramids of Parvolan.
Elven ruins. I'm not sure we're even in Orlais anymore.
Maybe. I mean, Illuvians can go almost any distance. There's another.
Another Kunari, dressed like the one in the Winter Palace.
He's part of their military, dressed for war.
Wearing thatched armor? Wearing thatched armor. It's bizarre. Let's see, what's through here? I see a chest. Oh, hello. No, okay. Never mind. There's death fire here. Ooh. What was that? Well, it looks like Orlais, at least. It's a bunch of Kunari stuff. Environmentally, it looks vaguely like Orlais. Of course, with various elven motifs. I forget what we can do about this fire. I don't know if there is anything we can do about it. I think there's a way to put it out. I don't remember what. Might be a focus ability.
Scorch marks everywhere. This is the work of a mage.
A powerful one. I can still feel the heat crackling.
We need to find out why these Kunari were here and who did this to them. Return
to stone. Though, I will say, we have seen that happen once before. If I recall, Solus did it to Flemeth.
Over there, Kunari.
Broken statues that stop the pedestal.
If we want to know why they're here, we've got to get across to that island.
Shattered. Here's an alluvian. Another one.
The elves bound a spirit here. It feels
Think about Fenharel,
old.
the Dreadwolf.
Very old.
What does it want? We're visitors. We didn't mean to disturb you.
Virthar is something about a pathway? Darn it. Really? Again? Hey, we got him. No, we didn't. Okay, I thought we did. Now we got him. Okay, wow. That was tough.
I think that spirit considered us intruders. It must have been set to guard something.
Did not actually mean to intrude, but apparently we did. Yeesh. Oh, hello. A wash of powerful magic carries an impression of welcome. Images flash by, elven slaves, fleeing to this place in ancient times, greeted by others, who then tend their wounds. Words are not so much heard as felt. Fen'Harel bids you welcome. Rest, knowing the Dread Wolf guards you and his people guard this valley. In this place you are free. In trusting us, you will never be bound again. I opened the door.
That was like Veilfire. It claimed this was a refuge for elven slaves. This whole valley was a sanctuary created by the Dreadwolf Fen'Harel.
Fen'Harel? The Dalish elves' god of misfortune?
And mischief more than misfortune, if I understand it correctly.
Too bad we're not here at night. We could come back when it's dark, use the stars to see exactly where we are.
We are in the same, like, hemisphere, because the moon is in the sky. It was when we left. So we haven't gone quite that far, at least. That's something. We're not, like, on the other side of the world or anything. Thetis is round, by the way, if anyone was wondering.
That illuvian only took us a short distance. That's the same lake we saw from the other tower.
Yeah.
As its uses, move a lot of soldiers around quickly that way.
Huh. Well, there's more of those bound spirits. Elven murals. Ooh.
Wounds on the back, no blood on his sword. Someone took him by surprise.
This can't have happened too long ago. The blood's not even dry.
Maybe it's more of the spirits. Could likely be. What's this? A sock and one of Eric's books. Swords and shields. That's... I don't like that implication. Not a fan of that implication. I'm not going to spell it out. I just don't like it. Let's see.
Here we go again. What a change of pace from the Winter Palace. A clear sky, a beautiful view, and yes, fields and fields of stripweed as far as the eye can see.
Strip what?
Terrible stuff. Looks like grass, stings like a knife, and causes sores if you so much as brush against it. So, of course, everyone in Manrathus insists it makes a very decent tea.
Huh. That's odd. Wonder if there's any relation between that and Razorvine, Dungeons and Dragons. In D&D, Razorvine is a it's this weed that grows like vines that is primarily that it primarily grows at places of planar conflux. So where the borders between planes kind of rub against each other, where there are planar portals. There's a lot of it in Sigil, which is the sort of center of the multiverse. A wash of powerful magic. Images flash by. A man in wolf skin standing with a group of freed slaves, clasping one arm in friendship. Words are not so much heard as felt. Ben Harel has been falsely named a god, but is as mortal as any of you. He takes no divine mantle, and asks that none be bestowed upon him. He leads only those who would help willingly. Let none be beholden but by choice. So he's not a god. He's a guy.
This is Fen Harel helping former slaves as a mortal, not a god.
He took great pains to renounce his supposed divinity.
Fen Harel sounds like quite the rebel. The old elven gods must have simply loved that.
Well, we're going to find out a bit more about the old elven gods. Who and what they are, perhaps. Their mural of Fenharel. Sensation of bitter fury. Images flash by. Elven mages enslaving tens of thousands. Making arrogant proclamations of godhood. Words are not so much heard as felt. The gods, Arnev and Eurus, claim divinity, yet they are naught but mortal, powerful in magic, who can die as you can. In this place, we teach those who join us to unravel their lives. So the elven gods were also just very powerful.
The elven gods were just Evaneris, powerful, but completely mortal mages.
Almost like these slaves were being untaught what they'd learned. Being formed into a rebellion.
If that's true,
Rats.
Fen Harel was teaching these freed slaves the truth about these false gods.
Anchor discharge. The anchor now automatically generates focus over time. Discharge the accumulated focus with L trigger and L button. Makes your party briefly invulnerable. Oh, okay. Glows brightly for a short time, lighting dark areas.
Are you hurt?
It felt like the anchor stung me. This looks like it fits into that pedestal by the broken bridge.
God damn. These guys are just spongy. Alright, well that's it. I'm missing something to loot here, or something. Ah, I see. They're riding Hala? Oh, right. Return it to the bridge. Okay, I have to go back up. Alright, let's go. Can I just drop down? No, I'm not going to go to the stairs. I'm going to go ahead and go to the stairs. Anyway, is it purposeful that there's no music in here, or is that glitchy? I have to wonder about that. Smoking tower. Let's see. Bunch of these. The Qunari armor is so bizarre. The like crosshatch wicker pieces are just very strange. Is it rising out of the water? Yes, it is. Cool. That is a really neat drawbridge. That seems like a wildly inefficient drawbridge, but a very cool one. Alright. Oh, missed something. What was that?
Qunari.
Something down there. Looks like Felindaris, though. Nothing too important.
Wash it on. The Inquisition doesn't leave alive.
Back me up! One down!
Oh, come on. You took a potion. You didn't need to. I was gonna... Ah, well, that's fine. Oh, it's Prophet's Laurel, not Felindaris. Still, doesn't really matter, but fine. Is anything up there for me to find. So let's call this over here. Holla. Yeah, this place does seem elven with the holla. Yeah, let's go through the inside. These are massively tall elves, too. Oh my god. Ow. Come on, Dorian. Stay up for a few minutes. I mean, I really should have brought I never remember her name. The Orlesian Mage. Oh my god. It's her name and her name only that I can never remember in this game. I don't know why. Anyway. Knight Enchanter. Runner-up for the Divine. Anyway, yeah, Dorian's dying too much. I'm sure he's not enjoying that. He does not seem the type to enjoy that sort of thing. Oh, really?
Why did those Kunari attack the Inquisition on sight?
Kunari never act without orders. A commander in the Qun must have given them.
Are you saying the entire Kunari nation wants us dead?
Well, at last the Inquisition and Tevinter have something in common.
No, that does not help. Okay. Thought it might. I was wrong. Alright, let's keep going. We've got another, I don't know, 40 minutes. This looks like it was once a chantry. Which, no, wasn't. It does certainly look like a temple, though, and if that's any indication, that was to Mythal. Mythal flanked by the Dreadwolf. Odd. Well, I mean, interesting, given what we know about Mythal, at least. Or wait, are these the rest of the Evaneris? No, that's the rest of the Evaneris. So that is kind of strange. Was this a temple for the Evaneris in general? Can I do this?
You know, I'll bet I could do that.
Alright, fine. Figured maybe I could do it with my funky, glowy hand.
That's Sven Harel, removing the face markings from a Dalish elf.
But these ruins are older than the Dalish.
Maybe the markings used to have a different meaning.
Well, little side note, if you are playing a Dalish elf, Solus explains to you that the markings, since each one represents one of the elven gods, the Evaneris, he explains that the markings were slave markings, and that they were infused with lyrium, very much like the Tevinters use on what's his name? The elf warrior from Dragon Age 2. The like super edgy boy band looking guy. Fenris, that's it, Fenris. And so that would make sense in context, in this context in particular, and also in the context of he offers to take them, like remove them for you if you are a Dalish. Neat little culmination of that arc. The dread wolf keeps its gaze on the one light that illuminates the way forward. Oh, so it's that one in particular. How do I put the rest out? I know. So he's looking down, so this one. And he's looking down, so this one. Right? No. Maybe it's this Dreadwolf. He's looking at this one. Boom. Cool.
What's this?
Puzzle. Oh no, I'm gonna have to go back around. Oh, darn. Alright, well, time to go run back around, I guess. Gotta go fast. This is an incredibly designed cathedral, and I really, really like it. Now, like I said, it's kind of odd that this is elven, because the architecture does not strike me as elven. This looks to be like a chantry. But maybe it just looks to me like a chantry because I associate the chantry with the medieval church, and this looks like Gothic architecture. Excuse me. I mean, it does have the sort of pointed arches that we associate with elves. That sort of thing. So maybe. So I guess. It's still incredibly, incredibly gothic. And utterly beautiful, by the way. Looks incredible. The emerald green roof, which is also worth noting. Everything about that feels very elven, mostly for Lord of the Rings reasons. Piercing arrow. I'm never going to use that, but cool. Fenharel. Sensation of determination. Former slaves and ranks with Fenharel, armed and strong. Their skin is clear, their face tattoos, the elven Vallaseline are gone. The brand of the Evanuris can be lifted from you, that all may know you oppose their cruelties. None here are slaves, all are under our protection. All may choose to fight.
Hidden weapons. These freed slaves actually fought back against the Evanuris, posing as gods.
Interesting word, Evanuris. If all it means is mage leader, well, they were basically magisters.
Can I just bash through? No. No. Forgot I still had him spec'd on fire magic. Nope, I don't want him with fire magic. Oh. Because we're in combat. Yeah, whatever, he can keep fire magic for now, I guess. Do you really have to bring a Rift Mage to get through this? Because I'm assuming Stone Fist will get you through. Oh, there's a big Kunari. There's a big boy. Moonstone, also very elven. Oh, jeez. Excuse me. Enhanced basic attack. Your first attack now leaps toward your targets. I need to give that to Iron Bolt. That's really cool. Kunari orders. In Kunlot and Common. I have read your report. Station your people in the abandoned elven towers by the lake. It is a short distance from its entrance to the mirror that connects to Halam Sharal. We will need the space to lodge our people after infiltration is complete. There's a map of the crossroads at the bottom with an arrow from the elven ruins Alluvion to the Alluvion that leads to the Winter Palace.
This letter says the Kunari came to these ruins because the Alluvians connect to Halam Sharal.
A staging ground for an invasion?
It was some sort of infiltration. There's no more details.
Look at these explosives. That is a lot of explosives. A lot of explosives.
I cannot even tell you how good it is to be in armor again instead of fancy vestments.
I dig the bright gold armor, by the way. Really digging it. Note regarding the wolf statue. Remember, if you wish to move the statue, light the second sconce from the left as you face the wolf's head. Use the blue-green flame in the brazier. It is magic, but it will not harm you. Remember your duty to the Kyun. When you light the sconce, a box clutched in the statue's paws will open. There is an item inside. Do not touch it. It is old and elven. We will have a Saarebas examine it for magic when time comes. Yeah, it's a little bit magic. You don't really need to worry about it. This all looks like elven stuff, not Kunari. Wow. That's a lot of gold. Right. On we go.
Let's look for anything that explains why the Kunari came here before we go.
Already did that. Let's just flap real quick. Now let's go back to Halam Sharal. The Rebel God. Wait. What is that? Oh. We're not supposed to go back yet. We're still looking for more information. Okay. Huh. Did I miss something? I feel like I missed something. Yeah. If this seems to be indicating that I missed something. I need to go back. Get the hidden armory. Looking. Oh, is there a note? Oh, a note. Oh, okay. Here we go. This gore-spattered letter was written in both Kunlot and the common tongue. 2 hours ago, an unknown intruder penetrated our defenses, masked and cloaked, a mage. Used magic to awaken spirits and turn them against us. Intruder moved as if they knew this place. Fled after spirits awoke. Dozens dead. Spirits keep attacking. Engagement not The letter is unintelligible. Blood is still wet.
A note about an unknown intruder coming through an alluvion. They turned spirits against us, then fled.
It must be a mage. They killed any Kunari in the way and let the spirits do the rest.
2 parties, then. The Kunari, and a mystery agent determined to stop them.
Yeah. now we go back to the Winter Palace. Alam Shiral.
One dead Canary was bad enough. Now we have more, and they're hostile.
This makes no sense. The Canary may not be friendly to the Inquisition, but they have no reason to attack us. They also have no reason to be here, or using Illuvians at all.
I've had the mirror placed under guard for now.
I still don't actually remember exactly why the Qunari are attacking the Council, other than just a prelude to ordinary plain old invasion. I don't actually recall exactly. I need to pay a little closer attention to the story for this time. I've played this 2 or 3 times already.
It appears the relative peace and quiet of the last 2 years is coming to an end.
First the Blight, then Mages and Templars, then Corypheus, and now this. Can't we go 10 years without the world falling to pieces?
We must ensure that the Qunari do not disrupt the negotiations. The Exalted Council is in a very delicate state.
I'm certain you can soothe the nobles' ruffled feathers while we solve the real problem.
Not when the Inquisitor insults everyone present by walking out in the middle of the talks. Our only advantage is that Orlais and Ferelden are divided in goal and grievance. If they unite against us, Divine Victoria will have no choice but to support their claims. We could lose everything.
Could we use the Qunari threat to remind everyone how valuable the Inquisition still is?
Not until we know more. It will be fine.
That's
I
something.
will attend to the Exalted Council. And while Josie does that, we will investigate.
I'll head back to the crossroads. We need to find out what the Qunari are doing and why they attacked.
And I'll have a quiet word with our honor guard.
How do I go about investigating the Qunari plot? Can I still chat with everybody? I'm almost out of time.
Everything going all right so far?
Any word from Hawke?
I got a message from, well, best not to name an entire chain of smuggling syndicates in polite company. Anyway, Weishaupt is apparently the special kind of mess that only appears when Hawke shows up. I'm not entirely sure how it'll all
good, I
play out,
guess.
but my money's on Hawke walking away from the Warden's fortress as it explodes.
I'm surprised no one from the Council of Heralds wants your autograph.
You just missed them. Duke Cyril keeps asking me for spoilers for my next book.
I don't understand how you just become a Viscount.
When the ruler of a Marcher state dies and there's no heir, the nobles of the city pick a new ruler. Only none of Kirkwall's nobles actually want the throne. Most of them think it's cursed, actually.
Yeah, who
They
can blame
can't
them?
leave it empty, though, or some other state like Starkhaven or Ansburg will probably invade. I complained about the empty office when it interfered with my reconstruction efforts. They took that as volunteering.
So, Bran used to be Viscount, and now he just follows you around?
Provisional Viscount.
Pretty much.
With a permanent appointee, finally, in the Viscount's office, I am free to return to my post as Seneschal.
He means my true calling is arrogantly telling people they can't talk to the Viscount. He's good at it, too.
We'll talk more another time.
I'll be here if you need me.
Oh man. Alright, let's see. I do want to go back and talk to everybody in the meantime. Before we get into this too deep.
Need me for anything?
You're more comfortable being called by your real name now?
Comfortable? Not quite yet. I didn't want to be Rainier for
Oh, you're
such a
swinging
long
that.
time. To be quite frank, he was an ass. But I've changed. And reclaiming my name has allowed me to reconnect with people I haven't seen in years. Family. It wouldn't have happened without you.
It's nice to have everyone back in the same place again.
Almost everyone.
I have to admit I missed it. What does it mean when we need a huge diplomatic talk or the world ending just to bring us together? I got the chance to have a few drinks with Sarah. Miss that girl. It's still a little awkward talking to Cassandra, but the commander appears to have forgiven me, finally.
What do you think's going to happen at the Exalted Council?
Maker, I have no idea. Politics always makes my head spin. The Inquisition shouldn't have to give in whenever some prissy noble gets their knickers wedged somewhere.
Until later.
Take care.
The spirits have fled, flying, fluttering, fast to the farthest fade. They're afraid of the veil tearing again.
That is troubling, that they think the veil is going to tear.
Hello, and shh. I'm trying to figure out why everyone is acting so weird. I mean, besides because Canary assassins and everything. You see it, right?
That's all.
There's something going with the elf servants. Makes sense after that ruin, right?
It's been a couple of years. How's everything sitting with you?
It's weird meeting back up and seeing everyone get their grey. First time I've been anywhere long enough to get fond of things.
What does that mean?
Cassandra is staying herself, so far. Hopefully. She needs someone to watch out for her, so I kind of do. And all for Andraste, I suppose. It still rings right, but the way people used to go on about it, I thought there'd be more trumpets.
When you start going on about elves, it's hard to tell if it's
I
about
love that she
them
sort of restored her
or
faith.
you.
That's nice.
Yes, you're ever so clever. Arse. Point is, the servants have no complaints. No asking for a Jenny. They serve this lot, but don't want them done for anything.
So, the nobles are nice, and the servants are happy?
Two things that have never been true. Mark that I said it. We're fighting Canary, but something else is on the up.
I suppose you've a lot to say about that elven ruin, about the creators.
They're not even demons, just big magey knobs punching down. And yes, the shits who use them to make me feel broken can still eat it. But always waiting for that fight is way too much work. It's like doing half the hurt for them. Maybe we're old now, but I'm tired of it. We've new fights to look forward to. We always do, seems like.
The whole Friends of the Red Jenny thing seems really, really similar to Van Harel, the Dreadwolf. Like, everything about Sarah is everything. Well, let me put it this way: everything about the Evaneris fits Sarah's ideology like a glove.
We'll talk later.
Especially as an elf who
Counts on
hates
seeing you,
being elven. New
Wish I
bolt.
hadn't burned all my contacts with the Ben Hastrath. Be nice to have some idea what they're doing right now.
Yeah, but then you'd be on their side, Chief.
Yes, but I'd know things. I like knowing things.
Is it worth it though? Really?
The Chargers have been with the Inquisition for a while now. Is everyone still happy?
No complaints, Your Worship. The Inquisition's been good to us. We'd disband and join the Inquisition officially, but the Chief gets this sad dog look when we suggest it.
The loyalty is touching, Krem.
I'll talk to you later.
Anytime, boss.
Alright, let's see what Charter might have to say about this. She is our spy.
Well met, Your Worship.
Never mind. Scout. More spy, but part of Liliana's network nonetheless.
I hear congratulations are in order, Inquisitor. I am certain you and the commander will be very happy. He is quite a catch.
Is that so?
Oh yes, the Orlesian court is in absolute pandemonium over
That was
this,
so awkward.
even by their standards.
That was so awkward.
So, you've been quite busy?
Ugh.
That bad?
Being divine is like trying to herd a field of cats into a lake for a much-needed bath. Even so, I would be
I like that
pleased with
visual.
my progress were it not for all the attendants picking over me constantly. And the hat! Needless to say, I'm more than happy for this diversion.
And to whack something with a sword again.
I hear you've been rebuilding the Seekers.
Slowly, but yes. I managed to find a few of my former comrades who'd scattered to the winds. Some of them were unsuitable, and I did not ask them to return. Others felt as I did, once they read the Lord Seeker's tome. We've since recruited a few candidates who are going through training now, with full disclosure. What comes after this, I cannot be certain. I am making it up as I go along.
Is it, now here's a good question, is it still secret to outsiders? And so is the full disclosure only for initiates? Or is it just public knowledge now that the Seekers are capable of reversing tranquility? That's dangerous.
I'm sure you'll be fine, Cassandra.
It's
kind of
much
dangerous.
to handle on top of my duties as divine. We shall see.
What do you think of the Exalted Council?
They are frightened of your power, and there is no longer a hole in the sky to remind them that it was needed.
They might be right.
Do not say that near them unless you want to give them the scent of blood. Even
Oh, no,
so,
but
I would wait and see where this leads. Calmer heads may yet prevail.
When has that ever been the case?
I'm an optimist. Just ask Varric.
I'll see you later.
Farewell.
Did you hear? Maybe.
oh gosh, there's something hilarious about that little exchange there. Pair of paddles? A pair of small wooden paddles with leather grips used for some manner of leisure sport, presumably. I don't think I want to touch those. Anyway, did you hear? Maybe. It's like the most Orlesian exchange I've ever seen. Because it's very clearly they're trying to share secrets, but without, excuse me? Anyway, they're trying to share secrets without actually letting on which secrets they already know. And so they're stuck not being able to share secrets, which so perfectly fitting. What's this? Missing servant. Oh. This is unacceptable. I was to wear the red cape with the chevrons today, but no one can find it in the wardrobe, which appears to be in 5 different places at once. Send Melise to me immediately. I haven't seen Melise all day, Uncle. She disappeared after setting out the bedclothes last night. One of the palace maids had to help me into my luncheon dress. Elita, you let some sticky-fingered scullery rents lace up your Montfort silk gown. Have one of the footmen look for Melise. Tell him to lay a few stripes on that elf's backside when he finds her. Missing elven servant. Especially given that the elven servants don't seem to be all that upset, according to Sarah. See how old Husbando and his doggo is doing.
Is there any news from Ferelden? How is your family?
My sister Mia keeps me informed. As I understand, she's training my nephew to best me at chess.
I sense a threat to my commander's chess superiority. I'm sure the defeat will be distressing.
He's 4. You could at least pretend I'd throw the game.
Do you remember the first time we came to the Winter Palace?
All too well. I've already answered a half-dozen questions about my personal life. The reason we're here is because we made a difference.
Big dog.
That's worth enduring the political small talk.
But you're still glad I'm here to rescue you.
Very much so.
Is there anything I should know?
We were permitted soldiers here, but our every move is watched. Some things never change.
I should go.
Inquisitor?
It looks like we're going to probably
I
wrap
should
by
look
talking
around.
to everybody again.
Quite the party, wasn't it? I hear it left the Orlesians and Ferelden's completely aghast. Andraste's herald, the Inquisitor, toasting a Tevinter Magister. Not a bad scandal to leave on.
What is this ambassadorship about, exactly?
I believe my father set it up, but the Imperium certainly didn't object. They'd love for the Inquisition to fall apart, so they're happy if it seems they consider this council a waste of time.
That makes no sense.
No? If Dread Tevinter actually pushed for the Inquisition's end, everyone else would disagree on principle. So they send a nobody pariah and hope for the best. Makes perfect sense to me.
He, despite his apparent confidence, he really does think quite lowly of him.
What did you do in Tevinter while you were away?
I went home. Twice. Father was only there once. Mother was drunk both times. I also went to Corinus to see my good friend Maeveris. Then I settled some of Alexis's affairs. That wasn't fun.
Any thoughts about the Exalted Council?
A few. Divine Victoria needs a new tailor for one. Cassandra in a flowy dress just seems wrong. And that hat does her no favors. As for this whole Exalted Council business, well... I warned you once that no one would thank you for saving the world. Sadly, I'm always right. So long as the Inquisition's around to remind them they're not really in charge, they'll never sleep comfortably. Whether they have the guts to take action, I suppose we'll see.
Another time.
I look forward to it.
I'm not going to go there just yet. By just yet, I mean tonight. Wait, what is this? Who are you? Excuse me. No teleporting. That's against the laws of magic, please. Stop. Please stop.
Such changeable weather this season.
Teleporting is against the laws of magic. Please cease. Cease teleportation, ma'am.
Darling, what can I do for you?
How are things for the Circle of Magi?
The Circle is recovering. So much was lost during the rebellion. Lives, most of all. So many experienced teachers gone. But I have hope. And determination. Which is better.
I wanted your opinion of how Divine Victoria is working out.
Cassandra is handling her office as admirably as I expected. History will remember Victoria as a truly great divine.
We'll talk another time.
Let's, for now, ignore the fact that it could have been you. That. Ruined picnic. Quennel. Now that you mention it, that elf hanging about the tavern does look familiar, but I can't imagine why she would have been at your cousin's wedding. Perhaps she was one of the servants attending on Duke Varney after he slipped into the mud pond and into that wasp nest at the picnic. Maker. I'm still not sure how that happened. Probably that elf, if I had to guess. Sarah. Little Miss Chaos. More wager notes. Nah. People
Inquisitor,
more betting.
is there something I can help with?
Tell me about your nugs. Did you get any new ones?
Oh yes, a litter was born just a month ago. We are weaning them right now.
Aw.
If you are hoping for one, I'm afraid they're already spoken for.
That's okay.
Your nug breeding sounds like more than just a hobby now.
It has certainly expanded. And who knows, if the Inquisition ends, there are worse things to do with my time.
You're gonna be
I
a nug
find
breeder?
being with the little ones soothing.
You're gonna be a nug breeder? Really?
Have your agents any news I should hear about?
There is activity in the Tirashan. Strange elves, like those at the Temple of Mythal. No news
Odd.
of Solus, however.
Yeah, hey Phoenix. Yeah, basically. What else is there to talk about? Your strange habit of breeding little pest animals.
Have you met with Cassandra since her return?
They're creepy
Oh
little
yes,
hands.
she's quite relieved to be out of the robes and back in the armor. I just hope she doesn't forget everything she's learned as divine. It took 2 years before she stopped hiding a sword under her vestments.
Now she just carries one openly into battle with us, stabbing Kunari.
Perhaps later, Liliana.
I'll be right here if you need anything.
Yeah, basically, she doesn't need to hide one anymore. She can just swing one at the Kunari whenever the hell she wants. Ah, all right. We are very close to out of time, and I think I'm actually will. What's this? Oh, that lacquered box. We already took that. I already found that thing. I don't know, whatever. Guess we didn't take it.
It's been a while since so many gathered in this place.
I think we've spoken to everybody again, and done pretty much all there is to do until the actual next part of the actual quest.
Yes, thank you.
I'm going to find out more about the Kunari through another Illuvian. So I think what we'll do is jump off a balcony. Major social faux pas.
Such changeable weather.
Gosh, excuse me. And head up that way. Oh wait, we can still talk to Josephine. Still can talk to Josephine up here.
Weather this season.
There we go.
I do hope you recovered from your night at the opera. Any earringing should go away in a day or two.
Thanks, Josie. Oh yeah, related to something I was talking about a while earlier. Phoenix, did you ever actually see the video I was talking about having gone over in class today? It is a street epistemology interview that I go over bit by bit, basically picking it apart and analyzing how the questions and answers are done, that sort of thing. I use it as a sort of general introduction to the philosophy of religion, while at the same time, hello, let's go put that. A general introduction to the philosophy of religion, and it's a very good example of very bad a very good example of very bad reasoning about the philosophy of religion as well. And it's really quite enjoyable to watch, and it's quite enjoyable to pick apart. So long as we're not sort of tempted to become uncharitable, at least. But it's very, very good. I really enjoy using it for sort of starting off a semester on a light note that is also quite useful, and working through complex issues by looking at someone failing to work through these complex issues. It's up there. Okay, I see. Like I said before, I'm gonna put it in the description after the stream. So if you haven't seen it, it's I think it's worth a watch. I think it's quite fun. Then again, I enjoy analyzing train wrecks. So, okay, that's over right there. Look, it's right up there, I think. Wonder if I'm gonna have time to find all these Hala statues in the next like 3 minutes. That's a good time. It's a good thing to end on. A scavenger hunt.
Good day to you.
Up there. Phoenix says that'd be useful to new philosophy students since they may fall in the same traps. I haven't seen it yet, but I'd like to see it after the stream. Yeah, it's oh, there's a hat too. Awesome. I love it. Schematic encore. Wait, is that's that weapon, isn't it? Oh ho ho. I'm gonna go check that out before I wrap up.
And what did they need?
Yeah, it is. It's basically just a street epistemology, so a sort of man on the street kind of interview with somebody about some philosophy of religion type ideas, and it's bad, right? It's not good. The discussion is they don't. The person that he's interviewing does not exactly know what she's talking about, not well at all. Oh, it's a staff. Okay. On hit. Chance to sing an offensive buff for allies with tank eaters. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, it's she's not exactly like I said, she's not exactly doing a good job of representing and defending her views, but it's illustrative. It's actually it's very good for trying to figure out exactly what goes wrong in discussions like this and analyses like this. And of course, it's worth reminding anybody watching this, students or anybody else, that I don't think we should take this to reflect poorly on the person being interviewed, just because it's a live interview with a person who's not prepared for this sort of thing, like, at all. And anyone put into that situation could screw up and have a hard time. It's rough. It's a hard situation. So, again, while we are picking it apart, and in a lot of cases making fun of the circularity of it and stuff like that, it's important to remember that we're picking apart and even making fun of the ideas, the things being said, not the person saying them. And I think that's always a good thing to remember when you're criticizing, or even when you're joking, is that you're making fun of stuff, of things, of ideas, of thoughts, of words, not of people. You know? Another one of those principles of charity. So anyway, it's very late. I'm very tired. I had to wake up way too early this morning. Yes, Phoenix, well said. We ain't dunking on them. We're just targeting the argument. I mean, I would even say we're dunking on the argument, because, there's some howlers in there, but they're accidental, you know. So anyway, I am out of time and I'm out of energy. I had to get up wildly early today because we had a modified schedule. Yada yada yada. That whole thing. The Mass of the Holy Spirit. And so my class was a half an hour earlier than usual and threw everything off. Anyway, I am very tired, so I will. I'm gonna wrap up here, and then I will see all of you on Monday. See you on Monday for KOTOR 2. We're actually getting to Telos. Finally. And then once again Thursday to continue Trespasser. We might actually finish this next Thursday. Maybe? I don't know. I'm not confident that we'll finish it next Thursday, but maybe it's a possibility. So we'll see. Anyway, that's what's coming up. And then once we're done with Inquisition, we're moving on to Kingdom Come Deliverance. So that might be next week, or that might be 2 weeks from now, or maybe 3 weeks from now. But it's certainly coming up soon. Anyway, yeah, glad to have you near the end of it, even though it was the last few minutes. I know how things happen, but thank you for joining anyway, and thank you anybody else who winds up watching, and I will see everybody next time. Good night.